Hey guys, happy holidays and happy new year. It's that time of the year to offer some great fitness tips. And this article or this post is called 24 Fitness Tips for 2024, obviously. First of all, for those of you that don't know who I am, I go by the handle of VFit Coach. I've been a personal trainer for 34 years. I'm working on 39,000 of hourly sessions serviced. So going to hit 40,000 probably within the next 1 or 2 years. And with that said, it's time to offer some of my more valuable fitness tips. So don't worry, I'm not trying to sell you something, but if you like this video, please hit that subscribe button, hit the alert button so you'll get more juicy content in the future. What I want to do, my objective is to elevate the fitness knowledge of the fitness community. And this includes fitness professionals. For those of you that want to take your fitness level to the next level from some of the research that I've done in the past 2 or 3 years, and based on my experience, this video is for you. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay guys, I'm going to show you how to calculate how many calories you burn within an hour if you do steady state cardio. So there's a simple formula you could use. If you have a wearable, great. But the wrist wearables don't work very well. Fitbit, Apple Watch, usually when you move around, especially if you're running, it moves around and it doesn't give you an accurate BPM. So they're not really good for true workouts. The chest straps, such as Polar or Garmin, or the armbands, those work kind of good. So if you have those, please do use those. But if you don't have any and you want a simple hack, let me show you how you do that. First of all, you need to calculate your target heart rate. So before you could calculate your target heart rate, you need to calculate your maximum heart rate. So remember this number, 220. That is the standing number you need to start with. And you want to subtract your age. Subtract your age, you get MHR, also known as your maximum heart rate. Once you have your maximum heart rate, you can multiply it by 75% to 85%. So in this case, 0.75. 75% is usually the target rate zone where you burn the most fat calories. Now you could do 85, but 75 is pretty much the standard. That will give you your THR, target heart rate. So once you have your target heart rate, you take your body weight and multiply it times 4. Okay, this will be estimated calorie expenditure per hour. Okay, so per hour. Okay, so once you know this, why you have to know your target heart rate? Because you have to keep it in a steady state for a full hour. If you don't do a full hour, you do 30 minutes, then you just cut it in half to 30 minutes. And you cut this formula, this total, in half as well if you do 30 minutes. So it's the easy way. Let's do mine, by the way. Okay, so this is mine, 220. Subtract my age. Yes, I'm 56 years old. Okay, so that is 164. 164 MHR, 164 beats per minute is the standard of my age of how high my heart rate can go. Now, can it go to 180? Yeah. So, but you need a standard where the majority of people kind of fall into it. For me, for my age, 164 maximum heart rate. Okay, so we take that number, 164. 164 times 0.75 equals 123. Okay, target heart rate. So technically, if I keep my heart rate at 123 BPMs for a full hour, I could now utilize this last formula, which is my body weight, which is about 149 right now. Okay, times 4 equals 596. Is that right? 596. calories per hour. Apologize, I'm using red. The markers are dried out, so hopefully you can see this. So I burn 596 calories per hour if I keep my heart rate at the steady pace of 123. So you can do your own, and it's an easy method. I've been using it for years for my clients when they ask, like, how many calories do you think I burned? Well, I can almost determine how they breathe during their 60-minute workout. And I could actually say, okay, you were in your target zone, you burned this many calories. This is an easy method of doing it, easy hack. Okay, hey guys, fitness tip number 2, increase your metabolism. So if you're trying to lose weight, there's many ways you can increase your metabolism. You can become more active during the day. Maybe you add an extra mile to your walk, run some chores, run some errands. But the more sustained way is to add actual muscle onto your body. Now, when I say adding muscle, it doesn't mean like several pounds of muscle and you're going to get big. You actually could be a smaller body frame and have more muscle. So muscle is more dense than fat. So when you have the same amount of muscle, let's say 10 pounds of muscle and 10 pounds of fat, muscle is actually a smaller size area. So like I mentioned, if you had an extra pound of muscle on you just right now, if I were to sew some of my muscle and sew it onto you, you'd probably burn 30 to 50 more calories per day. Now, for most people, 10 pounds is a lot. Bodybuilders could probably only gain 20 to 30 pounds, any average height bodybuilder. So a certain amount of muscle is actually a lot. 2 pounds of muscle in a month would be great. Okay, so also just because when a person's thin, that doesn't mean they have a fast metabolism, because it could be less muscle on their body, but they're just so thin that they have a certain amount of fat, more fat percentage than muscle on their body. So in that case, a person that's thin and has a slow metabolism can actually gain weight quicker, if they overdo it, if they binge. So there's one thing that's overlooked. When you actually eat, you create this thermogenic process. So it depends on the food you eat. If you eat food that digests quickly, you don't really have that many calorie expenditure through this thermogenic process. A lot of people don't realize when you eat chicken breasts, your body has to go through this process to digest it and turn it, break it down into amino acids so your body can absorb it. And when you eat a chicken breast, your body has to work harder to do so. And studies show that right after a workout, your synthesized process, or the protein synthesis process, is 40% higher. So that means your body's working 40% higher through that protein synthesized process to absorb that chicken breast and to break it down and to digest it. And believe it or not, 24 hours later, that protein synthesis is 100% higher. So the day after eating protein, like 24 hours after you worked out, probably you have to have a good workout, your body could really work hard consuming that protein. Do more rhythmic cardio. So rhythmic cardio versus stop and go cardio. Like some people, they go for a walk and they go, oh, I walked around the mall for 2 hours. I did 2 hours of cardio. Well, how did you walk? Did you just walk by each store at 3 miles an hour without stopping? So most people are going to walk around, they're going to stop, maybe smell the roses. Or you're walking your dog has to take a poo. You're not really doing that steady state cardio. So steady state rhythmic cardio, such as running on the treadmill, longer bouts, and keeping your heart rate in that zone, that's more effective for reducing fat. Running, swimming, stair climber, power walking, elliptical are all better options, are all rhythmic cardio. Now, where does high intensity interval training come in? High intensity interval training, your heart rate is doing this. going up and down, so it's more anaerobic. You do burn more calories, but the percentage of fat calories actually goes down. So there are certain durations for each of these. If you're going to only do a 20-minute workout, you might as well do high intensity interval training if you want to maximize the caloric burn. However, if you're going to be doing an hour, which I probably would recommend for most people, you should have a steady state of heart rate around 75 to 85%. Okay, and you could back up and check, calculate your 75% target heart rate if you wish. To get a better understanding of your macronutrients, your main macronutrients, which is protein, carbohydrates, and fats. So I'm going to add this chart. You guys can take a look at this chart and you get an idea of a summary of what they do. So protein, what is the main purpose? Breaks down amino acids and it's the building block of muscle and tissue. Okay, but it's not sufficient for providing energy. If your body had no choice, couldn't find no carbohydrates in your body, and your heart rate is escalating in an anaerobic state, you're probably going to use protein as an energy source because that's survival. It doesn't like going to fats right away. It will look for the most abundant form to provide as energy. And sometimes there's protein left over from what you ate that will be used as energy. So third, most proteins take longer to digest. So moving on to carbohydrates. Carbohydrates is your main source of energy for both moderate and intense demands. Carbohydrates includes energy for the brain, for your organs to circulate, for the blood to circulate around your organs. Okay, excessive intake converts into fat and stores throughout your body. That's why you get a lot of talk about don't eat too much carbs. But once you know how these macronutrients work throughout your body, you could plan when to eat carbs. So like I said, if you know, like simplex carbohydrates will get in your body really quick. Complex carbohydrates such as potatoes, rice, pasta, those take a little bit longer. But if you time it right, you could have carbs anytime during the day, as long as you know how to not counteract with it, but use it as energy. Okay, also carbohydrates, simplex carbohydrates. Okay, I just mentioned that. Now fats provide energy for longer bouts of physical activity. So yes, you need fat on your body. There's people that become too lean and realize they can't sustain a long period of exercise. They have to eat right away, or they have to drink an energy drink. So people that are too lean will have a hard time doing long bouts of exercise. Fats also, excessive intake will store throughout your body. You'll have a surplus, and this is, welcome to the club of 65% of the United States. So we have too much fat. It's either carbohydrates or fat that we don't use and it gets stored in the body. Now, not all fat is bad. Some fats, such as omega-3s, which you could find in salmon, they support reducing triglyceride levels and they support healthy cell membranes. Okay, avoid muscle catabolism. So what does that mean? Pretty much means you're going to eat yourself alive if you don't have nutrients. So let me explain in detail. So after you work out, especially strenuous workouts, and weight training especially, your body is looking to repair that tissue right away. Now, right after you're done, of course, your body's not going to be searching for this nutrient right away. This window of recovery is usually 60 minutes after you work out, 60 to 90 for most. However, this process really depends on how intense your workout was. So if you really was going crazy on squats and deadlift, heavy weight, and you're pushing out all this volume within an hour, and let's say you didn't have any meal 10 hours before that, there's a chance your window's smaller than 60 minutes. It could be 10 minutes. So you'll feel it. Most people will feel this feeling like I'm about to pass out, or I'm really hungry, I want to take a nap. Those are signs of entering that catabolism stage. So remember, nutrients that you need is mainly amino acids. So you want to repair yourself. So you want a little bit of both of amino acids and carbohydrates to restore that state.